everybody. I am live here on Facebook and also on through the Binge Network's syndication program, up to 50 channels of TV on demand. I am looking at getting my Amazon live shopping channel up and running, and at the moment it's going to take a little while. We're about ready to go live on Amazon as well, and it looks like we may have hit the jackpot. Hallelujah, everybody. We are live on Amazon. And so welcome to the very first, what I would call successful launch of a broadcast for the Amazon live shopping show for Mytimetv.Live. I'm Adair Palmer, and today I'm going to bring to you an amazing guest who has written children's books, author of 2 children's books, and we've been trying for the last half an hour to get the tech going, and I'm happy to say that we are up and running. So without further ado, I'm going to bring in the lovely Liz Palmer, and let's have a chat. Let's see how we go. Liz, come on down.
I am.
So
I'm here. So
there we go. I'm just going to hide that one, and we have Liz. Woohoo! And how are you, Liz?
Both in beautiful sunny Queensland today. Cold but sunny now. It's wonderful.
It's beautiful here. I've got the sun streaming in behind me, and as any live broadcaster will tell you, do not ever have a window behind you because you'll be in shadow. And I have windows all around, and I have a light in front of me, and the boat swings around. So sometimes the lighting is perfect, other times it just isn't. But I invite you to enjoy the view. If you can't see me properly, just enjoy the view, because I enjoy this, well, just about 24/7. So welcome to my boat home. And Liz, welcome to you from sunny Queensland as well, sharing this beautiful state with you, because you're we've had some issues, obviously, with getting into well, back home for you into South Australia. But I'm glad to have you here, and I'm hoping that we can catch up in real life. And you can do a book reading on my boat. So which was the plan for today, but we're not there yet. Liz, tell me, how did you come to write children's books?
Well, for those of you that know me or followed me at all, I'm kind of been a traveler for the last several years. I live permanently here in South Australia. Well, I'm in Queensland now, and I live here in Australia. And when I had to go back to the United States, I got to visit my little grandchild, Savaya, who is 2 years old, and he was just learning how to talk, and it was really wonderful to be with him. And then I came back to Australia, and when I came back, I had to be quarantined for 2 weeks in a hotel by myself, no open windows, no doors unlocking, just for full 2 weeks. And I thought, what could I do with myself while I was in lockdown? And I thought I could write a book about my grandson when I was in lockdown. So I wrote my very first book, and I made little books for my grandkids and copied them and sent them to my kids. And then
bear with me.
Okay.
Okay, so sorry about that, Liz. I've been and now let me see if I can do this. Okay, so where were we up to? You were in lockdown, and you were writing some books for your grandson.
Yes.
And what transpired from there? Let's keep the conversation going, because this is really interesting, because there's a couple of things happening here for me. And the first one is, people have been impacted globally by lockdown and quarantine and that type of thing, and obviously not being able to travel, or if you do travel, the consequences of that afterwards, and which we're all facing on a daily basis, some to a bigger degree than others. I remember what you said when you were actually in your quarantine, Liz, and you what really amazed me about you was your can-do attitude, and the fact that you used that time to be productive, or, you know, because there were so many memes around of, you know, Netflix binge watching and people just getting bigger and bigger and being, what, you know, out on the couch and things like that. But what I love about what you did, Liz, was you took that opportunity and you turned it into something really amazing. So how did you come to that process? Just share a little bit about that. I'm going to drop out again and just keep talking.
Yeah, no worries. So, of course, as a grandmother, my grandchildren are precious to me. And when I was in lockdown, and I don't know when I'm going to be able to get back to the United States. Right now, I'm in Australia, and with COVID. So I wanted to be connected to my grandchildren. And it just made me smile thinking about my grandchild. And when I was there in Hawaii visiting, I tried to pick up some children's books. And honestly, I was abhorred. Some of these kids' books were so poorly written, and they weren't written about anything of value to the children. So I wanted to make stories of kindness and friendship and something that the children could relate to. And one of the other things that I did when I was in quarantine was 3 times a day, I would hear a knock on the door, and I would go to the door, and there'd be a bag of my food. So they delivered 3 meals a day. It was always a guessing game what I was going to get. And I was trying to use every resource that I had. I actually made a toasted cheese sandwich with my ironing board. But I started making characters' faces on the bags. So I made a big collection of these bag people. And I was putting them on Facebook, and I got lots of fun comments.
Stop! You have to tell me about the toasted cheese sandwich with your ironing board. Like, how? Tell me more about that.
Well, you know, they were sending food that I didn't necessarily like, and so I could order groceries in line. And I thought, you know, a toastie, as they're called here in Australia, would be really good. I thought, how can I do one? So I just put the ironing board out there, and I got bread and butter, and I can't remember how. I think I put it in between a paper bag, but I used the iron. And it was very tasty. I heard some people were using their kettles for soup, because I didn't have a little kitchen. I didn't have a microwave. I just had a little refrigerator.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that must have made it a bit challenging. But thank you for sharing that with me. My mind went all over, like I'm seeing cheese all over.
No, it was, I don't know. I actually can't remember how. It wasn't messy at all. And it tasted really good. So my toasted cheese sandwich with all my bag people, I had all their faces laid out on my bed.
That. Yes.
So anyway, I thought while I was drawing, I might as well draw something of value. And I've actually always wanted to be an author of a book. And I've got a lot of books inside of my head, but I've never really sat down and written them out. But writing a children's book it came naturally to me. I'm a single mom. I raised 7 children by myself. For 23 years, I was just on my own raising the children. So I love kids. And so it really came easy to me. And I found out that I really loved writing the book. So the book that I'm going to be reading today was my second book. And this is a book that my 7-year-old grandson, who lives in New York, he helped me come up with some of the story from his 7-year-old brain.
That's brilliant. Now, I know you've told me a little bit about it. I just want to say hi, Roz. Thank you for being here. If you'd like to jump over to the Amazon channel and say hello from over there, that would be amazing. I'm just going to pop a little note in here where now I'm doing fancy pad. This is on the fly, I'll tell you. Oh, there we are. Look at that. Let's see if I can do that and say jump over to the Amazon channel and say hello over there. Liz is going to do a reading of the book. She's going to share a little bit about the background and how the story came to fruition. And you'll see in the news, in the comments below, there's a little link that can take you over to Mytimetv Amazon live shopping, where we are over there. And we'd really love it if you popped over there. you can comment inside of Facebook, and it'll pop up. We can show you like these things. We can show you the comments. We can't do that on Amazon, but come over and say hi, because I'd really love to see you over there. And this is the very first proper official live broadcast that we're doing in all these different places. So we are live on Facebook, we're live on Mytimetv.Live, on my personal profile, we're live on Women in Business Amplified, inside of the Live Broadcasting and Bots community, and also live on Amazon Live Shopping. And we'd love to see you over there, because what you can do if you love these books, and I know you will because I've seen them and heard Liz read them, your kids or your grandkids are going to love them. You can get them download straight away, and we'll talk about that a little bit more later. But also to let you know, we're also syndicated out to over 50 channels of TV on demand by the Binge Network syndication program. So what I would like to do is invite you over, and here's Roz. Roz is saying she's chasing her tail. Okay. Facebook user, please add link to this chat. You would be in the group, the Facebook group. Can you please come over to Mytimetv.Live on Facebook, and you will find that there's a link there on that page. So, and it was a really good point. I will make sure that I have a link ready to put into the chat in the group next time. All right, so I'm going to get Liz. Could you share with me? You said your grandson helped you come up with the ideas for Gustov the Goose, and I'd like you to share a little bit more about how those ideas were formulated and what the process was.
Okay, terrific. Well, the Gustov the Goose Gustov is a real goose. So I have a friend who's got a brain clinic in Oregon. And what they do in Oregon is they treat people with traumatic brain injuries. And it's very important after they do their specific treatments that the patient has time to unwind and be really quiet. So they have this beautiful place where the patient can go and sit in a very quiet place and look out on the pond. And out on the pond is the animals that were swimming there, and it's really calming to the patients. Well, one day she posted on Facebook, she said, Gustov has gone missing. And I'm like, what happened? So I wrote to her, and she said that one day just Gustov was gone and they didn't know where he went. So I was really concerned that he would either have been taken by a dog, a wild dog, or something happened with Gustov. And then suddenly, a few weeks later, he reappeared. So I asked my friend what had happened, and somebody had come into her pond, thought Gustov was lost. What they were thinking, I don't know, took Gustov, and they took him several hundred miles away, and they bought a little baby pool for their backyard. And poor Gustov was swimming around in this baby pool. And he was returned, and actually they found his home through Facebook, because there was a pond group and people found Gustov. So it was a community effort to return Gustov back to his rightful place at the pond. So as far as I know, he's still at the pond. Stories, he's going to be traveling around the world.
That is amazing. What an amazing story. And then and we'll get into the reading in just a moment. I keep promising that, I know. But what I wanted to say was this morning, we were chatting, and again, as a result of the external environment and things that are happening that are beyond our control, you've kept the momentum going, and you've written half of another book, I believe.
I have, and I'm actually, because I'm from Australia, I live in Australia now, I'm having so much fun writing this book. And I want to read you just one little piece from it. So when he comes to Australia.
Oh, right. Can we do that afterwards? Because I know it's about the adventures of Gustov. Yeah. But what I'll do is I'm going to pop this the other screen up, and we'll do the reading of Disappearance of Gustov. Gustov, is it Gustov or Gustov?
Gustov, yeah.
Gustov the Goose. And then you can share a little bit about his future adventures.
Okay. Oh, and as far as the story, I talked to my grandson about it, and he gave me some of the names of the characters, and so we kind of wrote it together because I thought that would be fun.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get this going. Let's have a reading, and then we'll have a chat afterwards about what happens to Gustov after he has his adventure. How's that?
Okay. So does it come up as one page now?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So Gustov, the disappearance of Gustov the Goose, a Liz Happy story. My nickname is Liz Happy, to live happy. So all my stories are going to be called Liz Happy stories. Gustov the Goose was the king of the pond. He watched over the water, the streams, and beyond. He was a friend to all that lived there. He protected with courage and always with care. When Gustov went missing, it was in the springtime. The pond was the place of the scene of the crime. The morning it happened, his friends woke with a shock. They looked high and low, even under each rock. Snoot, the salamander, was as sad as could be. He looked up and down, even to the top of the tree. Bruno the beaver popped out of the water. He kept looking and looking with Joey the otter. Tommy the raccoon, the wisest of the crew, he was so worried he didn't know what to do. Freddie the frog was scared as could be. He opened his mouth, and swallowed a bee. Where did Gustov go? When did it take place? This was going to be an interesting case. Did Gustov fly away in the night? As smart as he was, that didn't seem right. Did he go for a walk before the sun was up? No one in the pond seemed to know what was up. How could it be? What do we do? His friends all gathered to find the big clue. One at a time they began to show. The sun came up and they were ready to go. They talked it over and decided what mattered. A life without Gustov felt so shattered. The decision was made to ask Slither the snake. He was sneaky and sly and often awake. Slither heard light footsteps in the tall grass. Before the sun was up, he heard them pass. Two tall men, one in a hat. They spoke with a whisper when they began to chat. With Gustov in their arms, they started to run. It happened so fast. Before the pond saw the sun. Then Gustov was gone as fast as a jet, a horrid feeling that Slither will never forget. With fear in his heart, his eyes were so tight. He had some feelings that filled him with fright. Now they knew what had happened, but what could they do? Where did they take him? Their fears grew and grew. How would they find him? What could they all do? Looking all around for a single clue. They cried and talked, then devised a plan. They all decided they should call on Roxanne. Roxanne the heron had eyes that could see from the top to the bottom of the biggest tree. She would take flight this way and that, up mountains, down rivers, and on the flat. She would find him one way or another. She loved Gustov just like her own brother. Days went by without Gustov in sight. She was looking from morning into the night. The pond was so sad without Gustov the king. It felt more like winter than the beginning of spring. The day that they found him, excitement began. His return the next day was part of the plan. Roxanne and her brother, Sammy McGee, took to the air to help him get free. He was alone, paddling in a pool. They didn't understand who would be so cruel. They flew down to meet him and give him his wings to help him fly home to a chorus that sings, honk, honk, help. The two tall men were there to explain what had happened. They thought he was lost. That's what they imagined. They took him to save him, for they thought he was lost. They didn't think of the sadness it would cost. They were so embarrassed that they made the mistake. They wanted to help him return to the lake. Roxanne and Sammy had Gustov by their sides. They were the most loving and happiest guides. The pond animals were delighted to see them fly back. His friends were so happy. Life was back on track. Gustov started honking so big and so proud. He couldn't help being so loud. The animals all celebrated in the spring sun and went back to normal, all having fun. So there we go. There is a story of
Oh, that was amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Liz. Now, if anybody would like to purchase this book, it is only $2.99, and you'll find the link somewhere close. So just look for the Gustov the Goose book and click on the link, and you'll be able to purchase it direct from the Amazon website. It is at the moment on soft copy only. So Liz, can you just share a little bit about that? And is there any plans to bring it down?
After I got it, I made a little copy for my grandson, and it was like $23 for a little book. And I thought that's not very usable for most people. So I did a little bit of research and learned how to use the Amazon uploading link, which is free to anybody. And so I uploaded it. And I just have to get a few things situated where it can be a print-on-demand book. So for anybody that wants to be able to purchase it and print it, I'm just going through the stages now that I need to get that done. But I wanted to get it up there.
Yeah, so Roz is over on the Amazon channel. Thank you, Roz, for joining us over there. And you're saying, she said, is it hard copy or ebook or paperback? So, Roz, Liz has just answered your question that it is it's going to be print on demand at some point in the not too distant future. So if you are here on Amazon joining us live, I can see we have a few more people joined over here. Jump in and say hi. And if you're on Facebook or anywhere else, Amber is saying, that's a cool story. Amber, come over and join us on Amazon and do a little, hit the follow button, because I'd love to see some more people join me over there on the Amazon live shopping channel for Mytimetv.Live. And we'll be bringing you, before we go on, I just want to have a little ad break here that this is totally unscripted, but we're having an England versus Australia spaghetti bolognese cook-off on Tuesday night next week. So this is happening live on the Amazon shopping channel and also on Facebook. So we haven't the finer details as for an exact time. It's probably going to be around 7 or 8 o'clock. We'll see 8 p.m. And it's going to be a live spaghetti bolognese cook-off. So this is going to be a first for Amazon, a first for Facebook and Mytimetv.Live, and definitely a first for me, first for Australia and a first for England. So
that sounds really fun. That sounds really fun, Amber. I hope that I'm in a place where I can actually cook when that happens. So.
We've got two, myself and an English gentleman called Nick Wood, who's risen to the challenge. And Roz says, "Yay, you got someone to cook with you." Yes, I've been saying who wants to come on live and do a challenge, and so he's going
in England.
He's in England, and I'm here on my boat in Brisbane. And we will be doing an Amazon live spaghetti bolognese cook-off. So this is a first. So this is exciting news. And I was just going, pray the tech gods work for me before then. And that looks real good so far. So Liz, for you, with the book, it's coming out on print on demand. And that's, do you have a time frame for that?
I'm going to have to, one of the things about pushing yourself to learn something is it took me quite a while to figure out how to even upload the book, because I did all that artwork. So I drew the pictures, uploaded it, and it took a long time. But Amber, I know you said that you wanted a hard copy, which it always inspires me to do things quicker when I'm doing it for somebody else. So thank you for saying that you wanted a hard copy, and I think what I need to do is get the book registered and get a certain number. So it has to do with the ability for somebody not to be able to use that and call it their own. So that's the step that I need to take.
Oh, okay. So the ISPN.
Public domain. It has to be.
It's the ISPN, that each book gets assigned an individual number. I've got my mum here. Hello, Mumbles. Thank you for joining. That's really cool. I did send her a little video this morning with my grandson, her great-grandson, saying he loves her, and it feels hard. It's hard being so far away from loved ones and not being able to jump on a plane and see them. So sending you all big energetic hugs. And Amber is my daughter, who's just had her 40th birthday over in Western Australia, and I cannot wait till the borders open so that we can catch up and have hugs in real life. I'm just noticing it is very, very, very dark here, but now I've got the sun coming in through that window instead of this because the boat's flying around. So
like
anyway, I'm going to have to
look like this. I am rocking a little.
So when you get in the boat and you get off, you sort of you get your sea legs, but still you get used to it after a while, and it feels a bit comforting when you're still going a bit. It's like you've gone boogieing and you haven't stopped.
I did want to say that one of the things that I did, I'm not doing any of this for making an income, or I don't have any big visions of being an author that's making a living. So what I did was I set up the Amazon channel under my foster daughter. So I adopted my foster daughter when she was 15.
Yeah.
And, she lives in Los Angeles, and life in America is still really tough for many people. Yeah. So any of the proceeds from the sale of this book will go to her instead of, and I'm trying to encourage her to write her own book about her experience, just being a foster child. So I'm hoping that this stimulates her.
Yes, we'll send her the link, and when she's written a book, she can come on and do a reading as well. That would be awesome. Yeah. So we've got Roz saying it's the ISBN, so that's the thing that you need with a little barcode for each book to make it unique. And then she's saying she's happy she could catch this as a live. Roz, you have no idea how happy I am to see you here. It's like Roz is omnipresent. She just seems to be able to be everywhere all the time. So well done, Roz. Thank you. And she's saying, is the chat a permanent feature, or does it go after you finish? The chat on Amazon Live does disappear after you finished, and then you're left with a live recording, Roz. And then she's just said sea legs versus land legs. True that. Keep having fun, and great idea and wonderful for you as a mum. Yeah. And Roz says sometimes around at the right time. So all right. So what else were we going
I was going to give you a little teeny sneak peek of where Gustov comes to Australia.
Yes, of course. Yes, please do that, because I love that. Oh, no, first I wanted to talk about the illustrations.
Oh, okay.
Because that is amazing. I love the illustrations. They're really visually appealing, and you get a really nice vibe from it. So who did your illustrations, Liz?
I did. So
I have no end to your talents.
so I have an iPad. So it was taking so long that I did add a few of my characters from little animals that I got on Canva, and I did the background on Canva. But I drew Gustov, and I drew some of the little otter and the other little characters that I drew, and the heron, and I just drew them on my iPad, and then I uploaded them to Canva, and then I imported them over when I wrote my book. So that's how I put it all together. I considered hiring somebody to draw them, but I didn't want to pay $300 to $500 to have an illustrator, and I like doing it. So it was something that was fun to do.
That's excellent. That's really cool. And so you've written it, you've illustrated it, and you've published it yourself, and all the proceeds go to your foster daughter, who is still doing it tough over in the US, which is really unfortunate. So if you do want to get a electronic copy, you can download it in PDF for just $2.99. You'll see that here, it's US $2.99, which is still a really cool book and very inexpensive. So is it okay if they had an electronic copy to go and print it out, or is there some rules around it?
It's public domain, so yes, that's fine if they wanted to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know how it downloads, but one of the things you could do, what I did for my children, was I went on to photobooks.com.au, and I made it into a little photo book.
Oh, okay.
So I uploaded them, and that's why it was $25. But it was a very nice. I have the sweetest little picture of my grandson holding the book. I'll show you real quick. And when he was reading it, because I gave it to them for Christmas.
Oh, you might need to share your screen again.
Well, there he is.
Yeah. Oh my God, look at that. That is so adorable.
That's my other book that I'll read another time, which is my first book of Coco the Purple Turtle. And it's about a turtle that's all the other turtles in the ocean are green. He's the only purple one, and how he comes to accept his uniqueness and how he meets other friends throughout the ocean that also have unique features.
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. I've got Rosa saying she understands the cost of an illustrator. She's going to play with her Canva on her own iPad now. Thank you, Liz. Ros, don't go. You stay till we're finished.
Well, maybe what I'll do is I'll do a class on Canva, because Canva is so such an amazing tool. It was developed by somebody in Melbourne, and she really took all those creative ideas and put them in, and all you need is your imagination to kind of get started with what lives in your heart, you know. So. And
Rosa's saying they're great illustrations. I'm not quite sure if it's chopped off the bottom there, but she's saying well done, they're great illustrations. She's also saying that Amazon allow purchases as a gift that I can send to my daughter electronically? Absolutely, it does. Ros, you can buy gift cards and you can send them to your daughter and send them to anybody if you like, and they can redeem them electronically as well. And Sammy's here. Hello, Sammy. Good to see you. Ros is saying Canva is a great program, and she's also saying great to know you used your iPad for them. I know that what I'm going to do now. What I'm going to be doing this afternoon. So yeah.
Well, I used a program called Procreate, Procreate, and that's what. And then I used my iPad pencil for the program, and then you can design it and then save it as a JPEG and then upload it into Canva. So, and then Canva has an interesting feature where you can take out the background. So then you have just a little character that you can pop in anywhere in the story.
I love it. I love it. And if I had more time, I'd be doing that as well. But I got to figure the tech, so leave that with me. You do the fun stuff. Now, Ross is saying, I reckon I have Procreate, and I do have an Apple Pencil too. Okay. So, and yay to Amazon for making it so easy to be creative in the way of authorship. Absolutely, Ross. Remember, if you're looking here, I've got highlighted as Gustov the Goose, and you can purchase that for $2.99 US. Proceeds are going to Liz's foster daughter in the US, and she's just done a reading of Gustov the Goose. I'm going to have you back again to read some more, but I do know that you have to, you do have somewhere else that you need to be shortly. Let us know what's coming up. What about Gustav's adventures?
Okay, I'll tell you, I'll read one little stanza from his new adventure, because it's been really fun writing this story. And also, I just wanted to add that if you do read the story and your grandchildren love it, I would love a review. Some of my friends in the United States, they've had their grandkids write reviews or their children write reviews. And I love reading it, that I'm inspiring children and they like it. So anyway, after Gustov gets back home, he decides that he might like to travel a little bit, kind of like me. I raised 7 children, and one of my goals was to start traveling after all my children were grown, because they're all adults now. So, and when I tried to decide to come to Australia, it took me a while, but I decided to come. So this is when he lands in Australia. So Gustov. He landed in Australia and things seemed upside down. The traffic was backwards in the center of town. The water was twirling down the drain clockwise, and so many stores were advertising pies. And of course, in Australia, we all know what that means.
What is that? Football, meat pies, kangaroos, and Holden cars.
Yes. For all my American friends back there, every little town, every little street corner, they've got pies.
Yeah, I love the pies. Sammy's saying, children so love to use technology at such a young age. Absolutely. That's another thing too, is that the hard copy books are good, but if you purchase this on Kindle, you will have a soft copy book, and the kids, I think they're born ready for internet ready. These
Oh,
kids
when I
don't.
saw my 2-year-old learning how to scroll and open and save a photo, and he's like 2.5 or whatever. Although my kids don't let their they're very, very limited time, which I agree with. It's, you don't want. I hate to see a child in a buggy or stroller with an iPhone in their hands. We need, for our brain stimulation, we need to have that real life too. So anyway, Adair, thank you so much for inviting me. That was really fun to read that.
Ross is just saying, just one more moment before you go, because you just reminded me that no good show gets finished without a selfie. And she might have to find one of those background remover things and remove all the mess that's on my kitchen table. Because I wasn't expecting to do this, but I'm going to take a selfie of us, and no, I'm not going to be able to get the mess out. I might be able to if I get high enough, and we'll see. Amber said she's having trouble opening accessing the Kindle. So Amber, I'm going to have a look at that afterwards, and we'll see if we can't get the link through to you. And Roz is saying, yes, more physical play. Awesome stuff. All right, so let's see if we can do this without making too showing. No, my God, it's a mess, but whatever. We can edit that out, right? Give us a wave. All right, give us a wave. Totally can edit that out. And next time, before I do stuff like that, I'm going to clean up the whole house, not just this little bit. So, and you can see I'm still wearing my fluffy slippers. All right, Liz. Well, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, and I'll look forward to seeing you next week. No wind, beautiful day. I'll be there.
Okay, and bring your drone, and we'll do a live reading on the couch, and I'll get it set up in a different spot. And because my plan is to move the studio around, but it's a fairly significant job to set it up. But it's going to be fun to move it around and see what different views and what different aspects we can get from having the studio in different places on the boat. I don't think it's big enough to have one spot to leave the studio, but it's it's kind of fun. So thank you.
I'll bring my iPad next week, and then maybe I can show you how I drew some of the characters.
Well, that'd be great. That would be awesome. All right, all right. That, and we'll do some drone driving as well.
Okay. All right. See you next week. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you for your support. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, don't go anywhere. Folks, it's me here in the dark. I feel like I should have another couple of lights hanging down, so I will be looking at those on Amazon in the not too distant future. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you want to, there is the disappearance of Gustov the Goose, which was the reading that I'll just see if I can get the other one for you that Liz did for us today, giving us an amazing background about Gustov the Goose and how Gustov is how he was able to go and have an adventure and then come back and be found. And I'm just seeing if I can find the other one that I wanted to feature for you is the Coco the Purple Turtle, which is also available on Amazon, and I will find that, and we can have a look at that as well. Maybe I'll pop that in next time. But if you want to purchase the Disappearance of Gustov the Goose, you'll find the link there, or maybe there. Just have a look, and it's somewhere around here. It's $2.99 to purchase from Amazon. If you are on Facebook or on YouTube or on any of the 50 channels of TV on demand that we are live on, which would, we're streamed out to, which would be things like Roku, Panasonic, Sony. We're on Amazon Fire. We've got an app on Amazon Fire, and we're also on Apple TV. You may want to come over to Amazon and check us out over there. Roz is saying that technology is such fun. She's saying the link opens in a new tab so she can purchase right away. Yay! Awesome, Roz. And I'll see Amber, I'm going to see how we can help you purchase your copy of The Disappearance of Gustov the Goose. Thanks so much for joining me. Now I've got the tech down pat. I think I'll be up and running lots more times than what I have in the past, and we'll be, remember the England versus Australia Great Spaghetti Bolognese cook-off, the inaugural cook-off, which is happening on Amazon Live and all the other channels on Tuesday evening my time. It'll be Tuesday morning in the UK, and more details will be released about that in coming days. Thanks so much for joining me here. Look forward to seeing you all again, and please remember, hit the follow button on Amazon and tell your friends, come along. And if you have friends that have products or have written books that you think they might like to jump on and have a live interview and be part of the live shopping experience, I'd be more than happy to speak to them as well. Have fun, folks. Bye for now.